Welcome to Success Warriors. This is the place where mindsets are forged, limits are broken, and greatness is unleashed. If you're ready to take control of your future, you're in the right place. So, if you're serious about winning in life, hit that subscribe button and become a true success warrior. Let's get to work. Let me ask you something. What's really holding you back? Is it fear, doubt, procrastination, or maybe you just don't know where to start? Listen, we all have dreams, but too many of us stay stuck watching from the sidelines while time keeps moving. The truth is, success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about mindset, discipline, and action. And if you don't face what's stopping you, you'll keep spinning in the same spot year. But here's the good news. You can break free. You can push past your limits. And today, we're going to figure out exactly what's holding you back and how to fix it. So stay locked in, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to move forward and start winning. Let's get to work. Let me ask you something. What's stopping you? What's keeping you from stepping up, taking control, and going after what you know is yours? Is it fear, doubt, the opinions of other people? Or maybe it's you. Maybe you're standing in your own way. Listen to me, success isn't for the lucky, it's for the committed. It's for the ones who get knocked down but refuse to stay down. It's for the ones who push past the excuses, the pain, the setbacks, because they know what they want and they're willing to do whatever it takes. But too many of us, we hesitate. We wait for the right time. We tell ourselves we're not ready. And while we wait, while we doubt, life keeps moving. Opportunities pass, dreams fade, and before we know it, we're left wondering, what if? I'm telling you right now, stop waiting. Stop looking for permission. Stop letting fear paralyze you. The perfect moment, it's never gonna come. The only moment you have is right now, so what are you gonna do with it? You see, greatness isn't about being fearless. It's about moving forward despite the fear. It's about deciding that you will no longer let your past, your failures, or your doubts define you. You want success? Then you gotta go take it. You gotta put in the work, make the sacrifices, and stay locked in when it gets tough, because it will get tough. But that's where champions are made. So I'll ask you one last time, what's holding you back? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? Now go, get to work. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people never take the first step toward their goals. It's that voice in your head telling you, what if I mess up? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not good enough? That fear keeps you stuck, making excuses, waiting for the right moment, which never actually comes. The truth is, failure isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Every successful person has failed, not once, but over and over again. The difference is, they didn't let failure define them. They learned, adjusted, and kept moving forward. Most people are conditioned to see failure as something to avoid at all costs. Since childhood, mistakes were met with punishment, embarrassment, or judgment. That conditioning follows people into adulthood, making them hesitant to take risks or step outside their comfort zones. The fear isn't even about failure itself, it's about what comes with it. The feeling of disappointment, the judgment from others, the internal belief that failure equals personal inadequacy. But that's not reality. Failure is proof that you're in the game, that you're trying, that you're putting yourself out there while most people stay on the sidelines. One way to overcome this fear is to reframe how you see failure. Instead of looking at it as the end, see it as part of the process. Every mistake teaches you something valuable. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Instead of fearing failure, expect it, embrace it, learn from it. If you want to grow, you have to be willing to fall, to get bruised, to stumble along the way. That's how skills are developed, confidence is built, and real success is earned. Another way to break free from this fear is to take action despite it. Fear thrives on inaction. The longer you hesitate, the stronger it gets. But the moment you take that first step, the fear starts to shrink. It doesn't disappear completely, but it no longer controls you. Start small. If the goal feels overwhelming, break it down into tiny steps. Instead of focusing on the possibility of failure, focus on progress. Every little win builds momentum. The more you take action, the more confident you become and the less power fear has over you. It's also important to shift your focus from external validation to personal growth. Many people fear failure because they worry about what others will think. But the truth is, most people are too busy dealing with their own lives to be thinking about yours. And even if they do judge, their opinions don't pay your bills, don't build your dreams, and don't dictate your future. The only opinion that truly matters is yours. If you know deep down that you're doing something meaningful, something that pushes you toward your goals, then failure isn't failure, it's part of the journey. Fear of failure doesn't have to control you. It's a mindset. And like any mindset, it can be changed. When you accept that failure is just feedback, just another step in the process, you take away its power. Lack of discipline is one of the biggest roadblocks standing between you and your goals. Most people start with motivation, feeling excited, ready to change their lives. But that feeling doesn't last. It fades when things get hard, when progress is slow, when distractions come knocking. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. It's doing what needs to be done even when no one's watching, even when you're tired, even when you'd rather do something easier. The problem is most people rely too much on motivation. They wait to feel ready, but readiness is a trap. If you wait for motivation, you'll never get anywhere because motivation is temporary. One day you're fired up, the next you're tired, frustrated, or distracted. That's why successful people don't depend on motivation. They depend on habits, routines, and discipline. They show up whether they feel like it or not. They put in the work consistently, and that consistency is what leads to results. One way to build discipline is to set clear, non-negotiable routines. If you leave things to chance, you'll always find a reason to skip, delay, or quit. But when something is part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth or eating lunch, it becomes automatic. Start small. If you want to work out, don't wait until you feel like it. Set a specific time, put on your shoes, and just start. If you want to write a book, don't wait for inspiration. Set a daily word goal and stick to it. Discipline isn't about doing things perfectly. It's about doing them consistently. Another key to developing discipline is removing distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Your phone, social media, endless entertainment. If you're constantly surrounded by things that pull you away from your goals, discipline becomes even harder. Create an environment that supports your success. If you need to focus, put your phone in another room. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. Make success easier by setting yourself up for it. It's also important to hold yourself accountable. When you have no system to track your progress, it's easy to slack off. Keep a journal, set deadlines, or have an accountability partner. Knowing that you have to check in with yourself or someone else creates pressure to stay on track. And if you mess up, get back on course immediately. One missed day doesn't mean you failed. What matters is getting back up and keeping the momentum going. At the end of the day, discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Small actions repeated daily lead to massive results. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger it gets. Procrastination is one of the biggest killers of dreams. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do it later, I have time. But days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and before you know it, you're stuck in the same place, wondering where all the time went. Procrastination isn't just about being lazy. It's often fear, self-doubt, or perfectionism in disguise. You put things off because you're afraid of failing, afraid of not doing it perfectly, or simply overwhelmed by where to start. But the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take action. The problem with procrastination is that it creates a false sense of comfort. You convince yourself that delaying your work isn't a big deal because you'll get to it eventually. But in reality, every time you procrastinate, you train your brain to avoid discomfort. Instead of facing challenges, you seek distractions. Social media, TV, endless scrolling, anything to avoid doing the real work. And while you're avoiding, someone else is out there grinding, improving, getting ahead. The key to overcoming procrastination is simple. Just start. Even if it's small. Even if it's messy. Even if you don't feel like it. The hardest part of any task is the beginning. Once you take that first step, momentum builds and it gets easier to keep going. Instead of focusing on the entire goal, break it down into small, manageable steps. If you need to write a report, don't think about writing the whole thing. Just start with a sentence. If you want to exercise, don't worry about a full workout. Just do 5 minutes. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Another way to beat procrastination is to set deadlines and hold yourself accountable. When something has no sense of urgency, it's easy to push it off indefinitely. Give yourself specific deadlines, even if they are self-imposed. Write them down, tell someone about them. The more real the deadline feels, the more pressure you create to take action. It also helps to eliminate distractions. Your environment plays a huge role in whether you take action or procrastinate. If your phone is next to you while you work, chances are you'll check it. If the TV is on, you'll get distracted. Create a workspace that makes it easier to focus. Put your phone in another room. Use website blockers. Set a timer. Do whatever it takes to minimize distractions and keep your focus locked in. At the end of the day, procrastination is a habit, just like action is a habit. The more you put things off, the more natural it feels. But the more you push yourself to take immediate action, the easier it becomes to stay productive. The choice is simple. Either control your time or let your time control you. A negative mindset is one of the biggest barriers to success. If you don't believe in yourself, if you constantly doubt your abilities, or if you tell yourself you're not good enough, then you've already lost before you've even started. Your mind is your most powerful tool. It can push you forward or hold you back. And too many people let their own thoughts become the biggest obstacle in their path. The problem with a negative mindset is that it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you can't do something, you won't put in the effort, and when you fail, it confirms what you already believed. This cycle keeps repeating, keeping you stuck. You start to assume that success is only for the lucky, the talented, or the ones who have it easy. But in reality, the people who succeed aren't necessarily the smartest or the most gifted. They're the ones who refuse to let negativity control them. A lot of negative thinking comes from past experiences. Maybe you failed before, and now you expect failure again. Maybe people around you have doubted you, and now you've started doubting yourself. But here's the truth. Your past does not define your future. Just because you've struggled before doesn't mean you'll struggle forever. Every successful person has faced setbacks, but they didn't let those setbacks dictate their potential. They changed the way they thought, and that changed the way they acted. One way to break free from a negative mindset is to rewire your self-talk. Pay attention to the words you tell yourself every day. If you constantly say, "I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed," then those words will become your reality. Instead, start shifting your inner dialogue. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations like, "I am capable, I am improving, I will figure this out." Over time, your brain will start to believe what you repeatedly tell it. Another way to overcome negativity is to focus on small wins. When your mind is filled with doubt, prove yourself wrong through action. Instead of thinking about how far you have to go, focus on what you can do today. Every little victory builds confidence and rewires your brain to see possibilities instead of limitations. It's also important to control what you expose yourself to. If you constantly listen to negativity, whether from social media, the news, or even the people around you, it will shape your mindset. Surround yourself with positivity. Read books that inspire you. Listen to people who challenge you to grow. Spend time with those who push you forward instead of dragging you down. A negative mindset doesn't disappear overnight, but it can be changed. The more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the stronger you become. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. When you start believing in yourself, you'll start seeing the results you've been waiting for. The people and environment you surround yourself with can either push you towards success or hold you back without you even realizing it. Your surroundings shape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your results. If you're constantly around negativity, distractions, or people who don't believe in you, it's going to be much harder to stay focused and motivated. One of the biggest problems is being around the wrong people. If your friends, family, or co-workers are always complaining, making excuses, or doubting themselves, that energy rubs off on you. You might not even notice it at first, but over time, their negativity becomes your own. You start lowering your standards, settling for less, and believing that success is out of reach. People who don't chase their own dreams will always try to talk you out of yours. It's not because they hate you, it's because your ambition reminds them of what they're not doing. Another major issue is distractions. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in mindless entertainment, social media, and endless notifications. Every time you pick up your phone to scroll through feeds, check messages, or watch videos, you lose valuable time that could be spent working toward your goals. It's not about cutting out entertainment completely, it's about controlling it. If your environment is filled with distractions, it's no surprise that you struggle to focus and make progress. One way to fix this is to be intentional about who and what you allow into your life. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, push you, and inspire you. If you don't have those kinds of people in your immediate circle, seek them out. Follow mentors online, join groups of like-minded individuals, read books from successful people. The more you expose yourself to a mindset of growth and success, the more you start to think and act that way. It's also crucial to take control of your environment. If your phone is constantly pulling you away from your work, set limits on your screen time or put it in another room while you focus. If you're trying to build better habits but your surroundings make it difficult, change them. Create a workspace that helps you concentrate. Set up reminders that keep you on track. Make it easier for yourself to stay committed. Another powerful strategy is setting boundaries. You don't have to cut people off completely, but you do need to protect your energy. If someone is always bringing negativity into your life, limit your interactions with them. If social events or habits are constantly pulling you away from your goals, learn to say no. Your time and energy are valuable. Don't waste them on things that don't move you forward. At the end of the day, your surroundings either lift you up or drag you down. The choice is yours. If you want to achieve your goals, be intentional about who you spend time with, what you consume, and how you structure your environment. The right surroundings will make success feel natural. Thinking, planning, and dreaming are all important, but without action, they mean nothing. A lack of action is the biggest reason why so many people never achieve their goals. They talk about what they want to do, they think about it constantly, but when it comes time to actually do something, they hesitate. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect feeling, but that moment never comes. The truth is, success isn't about what you know or what you plan, it's about what you do. One of the biggest reasons people don't take action is overthinking. They analyze every little detail, worrying about what might go wrong, wondering if they're making the right decision. The problem is, the more you think without acting, the more fear and doubt creep in. You start convincing yourself that you're not ready, that you need more preparation, that you'll fail if you try. But here's the thing. Clarity comes from action, not thought. You don't need to have everything figured out before you start. Just take the first step, and the path will become clearer as you go. Another issue is waiting for motivation. People assume they need to feel inspired before they take action, but that's a trap. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll never make real progress. The most successful people don't wait for motivation. They create it through action. The moment you start working, even in a small way, momentum kicks in and you naturally want to keep going. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Fear of failure is also a major reason people don't act. They're afraid of making mistakes, looking foolish, or not being good enough. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every successful person has failed multiple times. The difference is they kept going. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to stop, see it as a lesson that's moving you forward. The only true failure is doing nothing at all. So how do you break out of inaction? The key is to just start, no matter how small. If your goal is to get in shape, don't worry about the perfect workout plan. Just do 10 push-ups right now. If you want to start a business, don't spend months researching. Take one small step today, whether it's creating a basic plan or reaching out to someone for advice. The smaller the step, the easier it is to take, and once you start, momentum builds. It's also important to set deadlines and hold yourself accountable. If you don't set clear time frames, tasks keep getting pushed back. Set deadlines for your goals, track your progress, and find someone to hold you accountable, whether it's a mentor, a friend, or even just writing it down in a journal. The more you make yourself responsible for your actions, the more likely you are to follow through. At the end of the day, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's action. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to start. At the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and your goals is you. It's not luck, it's not talent, and it's definitely not some secret formula that only a few people know. It all comes down to discipline, action, and mindset. You can have the biggest dreams in the world, but if you lack discipline, if you keep procrastinating, if you surround yourself with negativity, or if you're too afraid to take action, you'll stay exactly where you are. The good news, you have the power to change it. Discipline can be built. Procrastination can be broken. A negative mindset can be rewired. Your surroundings can be adjusted. And taking action, that starts with one decision. The decision to stop waiting and start moving. No more excuses. No more waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. So ask yourself, what's holding me back? And more importantly, what am I going to do about it? Because the truth is, you're either making progress or making excuses. And every single day, you have a choice. If this video gave you value, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below and let me know what's been holding you back and what action you're going to take today. Let's grow together, because success is waiting, but only if you're willing to chase it.